where we spread love and positive vibes. And I want to start by thanking our new subscribers and our returning subscribers. We really appreciate you. We don't take you for granted. Thank you so much, guys, for supporting us, subscribing to this channel, liking our videos, and commenting down below. We never take it for granted. And I want to say today's video is going to capture two things. There is something that I saw and I really got shocked. Because guys, all of us Africans and the Caribbeans, we all want to go and look for green pastures abroad in the diaspora. Because to most Africans, we believe that when you go to the diaspora, everything will be okay. You'll get a job, you're going to work, and you assist your family at home, and you also bring up your children without any problem. But I want to say, nowadays, the diaspora has become a nightmare to many of us. And in particular, in this issue, I'm going to handle, because I really got shocked. It's like the countries that are developed are getting tired of Africans and the Caribbeans. I don't understand why this is happening, but it seems like they are so tired of the African people in the diaspora, especially the immigrants. They are so tired of them that they are ready to pay them to come out of their country. Can you imagine that, guys? They have promised to pay people to come out of their country. I don't understand what they are scared of, or what is making them to actually make such a great decision to actually pay the Africans immigrants and the Caribbean immigrants so that they can live out of their country and go to their respective countries. And I want to say categorically, without any contradiction, that Africa and the Caribbeans are great lands. They are lands that can develop, that can actually accommodate each one of us. If we can live in harmony, we work together, we join hands and we become united, and we learn away from corruption, from ruining our own countries, and then learning to other people's countries. Because it seems like these people no longer need us. These people are tired of us going to their countries to look for green pastures. I remember there is a time I looked at Burkina Faso, and I said that the president of Burkina Faso is actually doing great work to grow his country so that his own people are going to get employment in that land. They are going to prosper in their own land. And I want to say, there is no time that you feel comfortable, even if you are earning how much money. And that is why we have learned that most of the Jamaicans actually work in abroad, in the diaspora, and they work so hard, but they invest in their own country. They buy properties in their own country, they help the people in their own country, they uplift the economy of Jamaica. That is what I've learned with the diasporas that have come from Jamaica. Because in their own land, home is the best. East, west, home is the best. You need to uplift your home. You need to build your home. You need to be proud of where you come from. Because when those nations turn away from you, turn their back at you, you can only go back home and the people at home are going to accept you. And therefore, I really celebrate Jamaica for actually building the economy of their land, because they know in their own land, home is the best. And I looked at statistics and I saw most Jamaicans are actually working abroad, but when it comes to the time for retire, they are going back to Jamaica, investing in Jamaica, having their property developed in Jamaica. I was looking at this guy called Trop. He has a YouTube channel. Him and the family, the father and the brothers, were actually in the United States of America. And while they were staying there, they did a lot of investment in Jamaica and also in United States of America. I don't know whether it is United States of America or UK, one of the two. And therefore, when their father was nearing retirement, he moved the family back from the United States of America to Jamaica. And they had some property in the US, which they sold because they could not be able to manage the properties in the United States of America and manage properties in Jamaica. And therefore Drop, I think they are called Winthrop, but he has cut short the name to Drop. And therefore Winthrop family came back to Jamaica, and they have a very huge hotel in Jamaica, because you can never be satisfied in other people's land. You can only be comfortable in your own land. You can only be at peace in your own land, because you don't know what the rules and the policies of this country are, and they can change with the time, and they start sending you away, just like what they are doing just now. And I'm going to take you through different countries in the diaspora that are actually paying people to come out of their country and return back to their country. And in Kiswahili, here in Kenya, we say, akufukusae hakwambii toka. If a person wants to send you away, he does not send you directly. He acts in a way suggesting he does not want you there. And therefore, at the rate at which the developed countries are changing their policies and actually paying people to return back to their countries, it's like they are telling people, we do not want you in our own country. We are fed up with you. We want to stay here alone. And therefore, it is very, very important for the Africans and the Caribbeans to embrace where they come from, to embrace their land, to build their land. We have a lot of wealth here in Africa and even in the Caribbean. We can actually rely on our own if we can actually work towards building our economy, building our land, cultivating our land, building industries in our land, creating employment in our land, so that people who are actually so learned do not come out of Africa or out of Caribbean and go to those developed countries to grow their economy while you have left your economy down, and yet in time they start sending you away and you go back to the economy that is still down. So I thought it is very, very important for the Africans to embrace their land, for the Caribbeans to embrace their land, to grow their own economy, to create jobs in their land, to make sure that they just don't just think about those countries in terms of prosperity. We can actually make our countries prosperous in our own unique way. I heard a white man somewhere in one of the videos saying that he really hated black people. And when somebody says that, it is very, very sad, and yet there are these people in their own country. I don't understand why you should actually say such strong words, and yet there are these people who are living with you in the same country, in the same city, in the same town. It becomes very, very risky. So I came across this article whereby the European nations and part of the Asian part, they are actually paying the Caribbean and the Africans so that they can return back to their country. And this is what is happening. Sweden actually is the first country that has promised to pass a law whereby they will be paying immigrants that $4,000 to return to their home, either in Africa or in the Caribbean. You can imagine somebody actually making a decision to pay you $34,000 so that you can quit their country and go back to your own country. That means these are people who do not completely want you in their land. I know sometimes we are forced by circumstances to go to these countries so that we can look for green pastures, because we are educated, we have the education, we have the mindset, we have our hands, and we are very hardworking and determined, but yet there are no jobs in our country. There are no jobs where we come from. And therefore, when we get a chance to go to either the developed, actually the Canada, USA, UK, Switzerland, Australia, like here in Kenya, most people have gone to Australia because it is said when you arrive in Australia and you go through education, you get a job there. And therefore, since in Kenya, after finishing university, you remain in the house with your degree, people find it better to actually look for green pastures in these countries. But now we have seen they are actually tired of us, and they have started paying people to go back to their own country. So Sweden has actually promised to pay $34,000 for people in the Caribbean and Africa to go back to their own land. All the immigrants who want to leave are being paid. The payment starts in 2026. So it is a policy that is going on, being discussed, so that they start this process in 2026. And Canada is also making changes to get rid of all the immigrants out of their country. So you have seen Sweden has already started the preparation, the plans, so that by 2026, the immigrants will be paid $34,000 to go back to their country. And Canada also has started changing the policies so that it can get rid of all the immigrants out of their country. Sweden in particular has new government called the right-wing government. And this new government is the one that is preparing or making the plans so that by 2026, they are going to pay immigrants so that they can go back to their country. In 2022, a coalition government was formed in Sweden, and this is the government we are calling the right-wing government. And this coalition government, maybe they sat down and they saw that these people are actually increasing in large numbers in our land, and with the time, they can overtake us and actually take our country from us. And this is what the Bible is saying the Egyptians saw. They saw the people of Israel are growing in large numbers, and they are going to increase and take over their land. And therefore they decided to kill the firstborn son of the women of Israel. So this is not the first time we have seen such a case happening. And therefore Sweden in 2022, they had this coalition government, which is called the right-wing government, and this government started preparing the immigration policy. And this immigration policy is the one that is actually preparing a plan whereby the immigrants will be paid so that they can leave the country. And this process will start in 2026. Germany is also taking this step, preparing to pay immigrants to go back to their own country. And this is happening also in Germany. European countries are saying they are willing to pay immigrants to return back to their own country. And we have talked about Germany, and Germany has also put measures, and they have decided they are going to pay $2,000 for immigrants to go back to their country. So they have even set the amount they are going to pay the Africans and the Caribbeans so that they can go back to their country. French has actually prepared the plans and is due to pay the immigrants $2,800 to go back to their own country. Norway is preparing to be paying the immigrants $1,400 to go back to their country. Denmark is actually preparing to pay a huge sum of money for people to go back to their country. It is actually promising to pay 15,000 US dollars so that the immigrants can go back to their country. And why have they taken these steps? It is said the Indians and the Arabs have flocked in these European countries, and they are feeling with the time their number is going to be too large and they are going to take over their countries. Arabs are so many and have lots of children. Actually, they get a lot of children because of the Muslim laws. So these people get a lot of children, and these European countries are seeing that this is a danger because in case of anything, they can take over their land. And therefore, instead of hosting them and making them pay, they are feeling we can even pay them some money so that they can go back to their country. We know that the Arabs and the Muslim countries practice the Sharia law. And in Sweden, women are respected and they have equal chances with men. And therefore, there is a lot of single parents, mainly because of the liberty the Sweden government has given to the women. And they are saying that if the Arabs actually increase in such a large number, the Sharia law will take over and will start oppressing the women. Parents are many, the women are having a large number of children, the Arab women, and therefore it is very, very easy to overtake over the country, and they start introducing their laws and their rules in the country. And because of this, they are actually feeling threatened by the high population of Arabs and Indians, and therefore that is why they are promising to pay these people so that they can go back to their country. So that is the reason why these people fear, and they look like these people can take over our country in due time, and it's a high time we take measures so that their population do not increase in our land. Because they don't want the Muslims, the Africans, the Caribbeans in their own country. So if you are not wanted in their country, it's a high time the Africans and the Caribbeans start preparing to go back to their own land. The other thing that I wanted to talk about in this video is about I Am Marwa. There is this woman called Carlo who is actually does not rest, does not sleep, does not slumber to make sure that she destroys people's lives and people's plans and people's lives and poking into people's business every day, every hour, every minute. And now, there is this lady that I told you guys I had gone to I Am Marwa's villa when there was this 1 month party. Sorry, I'm hiccuping. So when there was this 1 month party, I went to I Am Marwa's villa. And I met this lady called Hawi. Let me mention her so that people can understand what I want to talk about. And this lady, together with Claude Joseph, who is actually now, I think, the boyfriend or the husband, I'm not sure. Claude Joseph had been given work by I Am Marwa. Hawi also had been given the power to welcome guests, to actually be the one to be seen by the guests before they book an appointment to see I Am Marwa. Personally, I met Hawi, and she was the one who was actually supposed to connect us to I Am Marwa. But fortunately, I approached I Am Marwa directly without going through the PA who was Hawi, because at that time, Parish had gone back to Mombasa, and therefore Hawi was the one who was acting as the PA for I Am Marwa. And I was very, very sad to see the same woman who was actually held by I Am Marwa, and she was shown Nyambohanse, and she started actually having some rooms which she would rent to people as Airbnb. And this all was possible because she was accommodated by I Am Marwa, she was given work by the same guy, and the boyfriend, Claude Joseph, was also given work by I Am Marwa. It is very, very sad when you see the people that you have uplifted, because I saw the life of I Am Marwa and how bitter he was and how annoyed he was by these people who pretend to be so good when they want help, but when they are helped, they turn like a chameleon. They change like a chameleon. They start pretending that they are not going to be hot or cold. They are not going to take sides. And yet the same person whom they are saying they cannot take his side actually assisted them to grow, showed them the YouTube platforms, and actually gave them shout outs and actually assisted them to grow their channel. Because by the time I was there, Mini Hawi channel had started growing because of being supported by I Am Marwa. The same people want to turn against this guy, want to bring him down, want to say they don't want to be on this side or that side, they want to be neutral. There is nothing like being neutral. You are either hot or cold. If you want to go to the negative reactor side, go there. If you want to remain and support Marwa, who supported you when you were in need, then you must take a decision to support him, to actually speak the truth about him, so that people don't mistake, because people are now are confused. I heard Marwa saying there are people who wanted to visit Nyambohanse, but they have said they are reluctant because of the many chameleons in Nyambohanse, people who are assisted, people who are helped, people who are actually uplifted from their ashes, from their down there without food. And they are uplifted and they become somebody, and they turn against the same hand that fed them one day. It is so unfortunate. And Mini Hawi, I want to tell you, I saw you starting from the scratch. Starting from the scratch. They are down. And now you are telling us you want to be neutral. Neutral about what? It's a high time you decide what you want. I know you went to this case whereby Dimongo was being told that she refused to collaborate with Ernesto. Is it Ernesto? But Dimongo has a choice to make. She can decide not to collaborate with anyone. She can decide to collaborate with anyone. There are so many YouTubers in Kenya who do not collaborate with anyone, who don't allow anyone to see them, who do not allow their platform to be used by people, and yet no one talks about them. But this guy has opened his hands, he opened his heart, he opened his home, he opened his generosity to you people, and then you become snakes to bite him. Very, very bad. I don't like what Nyambohanse has become. A very funny village with very funny people who do not value others. They just are greedy, very selfish, and they want to look for their own gain. Very, very unfortunate. And guys, I said I'm going to talk about this because it is so sad that somebody can assist the whole village to grow and they turn against him. Very, very bad. Very, very bad and very, very sad. And I think I'll stop there because, this is so annoying. Guys, thank you for watching us. See you during the next video, and God bless.